This chart compares the proven oil reserves of four massive Western energy companies, Exxon, Chevron, Shell, and CNOOC, against Saudi Aramco. Aramco sits on 261 billion barrels of oil. To put that in perspective, they pull 1 out of every 9 barrels of crude produced globally. That volume generates extreme financial gravity. At its peak, the market has valued the company at roughly $3 trillion, placing it among the absolute most valuable entities on Earth. The empire started with a relatively modest gamble. In 1933, the Saudi government granted exclusive exploration rights to American prospectors. The upfront cost for accessing the desert was a payment of 35,000 gold sovereigns. For 5 straight years, the American teams dealt with extreme heat and dry holes. The venture bordered on failure until 1938, when Dammam No. 7, later dubbed the Prosperity Well, struck deep commercial quantities of oil. Over the following decades, the Saudi government systematically bought out the American partners. By 1980, they had achieved complete 100% nationalization of the company. A risky foreign drilling contract evolved into the absolute sovereign bedrock of the modern Saudi state. Today, the extraction rate is staggering. Aramco pulls 10.3 million barrels of liquid hydrocarbons out of the sand every single day. That scales up to over 300 million barrels a month. Reaching that oil requires extreme precision. Using real-time electromagnetic telemetry, engineers navigate horizontal drill bits into target windows as narrow as 15 feet, often located more than a mile underground. But drilling the hole creates an immediate existential threat to the field. Without intervention, the sudden release of pressure would cause the natural reservoir dynamics to collapse, trapping billions of barrels of oil underground forever. To counter this, Aramco forces the earth to maintain pressure. They treat and inject 7 million barrels of seawater deep into the margins of the fields every day, literally pushing the crude toward the extraction wells. Sitting on a massive ocean of oil is only half the equation. Aramco's true leverage comes from the highly sophisticated engineering required to force the earth to surrender it at scale. Once that raw fluid hits the surface, it is highly toxic and completely unstable. Making it safe for global transit requires a strict 17-stage stabilization process through massive surface facilities. This diagram of a gas-oil separation plant shows how they tame the crude. High pressure and gravity pull the heavy liquids down, while electrostatic fields strip away corrosive salt, moisture, and lethal hydrogen sulfide gas. The now stabilized crude is pushed into a sprawling 12,000-kilometer pipeline network that connects the remote desert fields directly to the coastal shipping hubs. Less than 72 hours after being pulled from a mile beneath the earth, the oil is pumped into the holds of supertankers at the sea terminals. The entire system is built to maintain a relentless, continuous flow, specifically designed to process unprecedented physical volumes without a single geographic bottleneck. When you process 12.9 million barrels of oil equivalent per day, the immediate question is where the resulting wall of cash actually lands. This chart details the ownership structure. The Saudi state holds 81.5% of shares, while public investors hold a 2.5% sliver. The remaining 16% is controlled by the Public Investment Fund, which directly routes its dividends to fund Vision 2030's massive infrastructure projects. Aramco's ultra-low lifting costs, paired with a 12 million barrel per day maximum capacity, yield staggering payouts. In 2024, the company paid out a record $124 billion in dividends. Aramco operates unlike any traditional public corporation. It is a sovereign wealth engine, explicitly calibrated to fund the kingdom's national agenda. Even with that level of capital, Aramco faces heavy headwinds. Volatile global pricing, the distant but real threat of resource depletion, and the explosive growth of global EV battery production all threaten their core product. Their primary defense is downstream integration. By acquiring a 70% stake in SABIC, Aramco secured the infrastructure to bypass traditional fuel refining and convert raw crude directly into high-value petrochemicals and plastics. They are also aggressively hedging their bets by building out a 15-gigawatt portfolio of solar and wind projects, while simultaneously heavily investing in blue hydrogen production. To mitigate their environmental footprint, they've started using seawater for shale gas fracking to preserve fresh water, and recently launched Saudi Arabia's first direct air capture plant to physically pull CO2 out of the atmosphere. Aramco knows the global energy system is shifting. Their strategy relies on deploying the massive oil profits generated today to secure financial and structural dominance in the energy landscape of tomorrow.